All right, guys, before we get started with the course today, as always, we have another giveaway. It is going to be this Simon Lizotte disc golf set. Going to have 3 discs in here. We have the Essence, the Origin, and the Link. All you got to do to win this is make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment. Other than that, good luck. Take care. So today's course is going to be Woodland Park in Columbia, Tennessee, outside of Nashville, Murfreesboro area. So this course, absolutely great course to play, has 2 baskets per hole. A few of them have a short and long tee pad, but here we go. Hole number 1, 578 par 4. We're going to be playing the long tee pad to the blue basket, but on some of these you'll be able to see the red basket. Pretty much a straight shot, slightly downhill. Got to make sure you get through these trees. You have a few different options on which line you want to throw. So they're going to do that a couple times to where the trees will be right in front of you. But had a decent shot out there throwing that fission photon flip up. And from there, going to be throwing that watermelon pyro. But this first hole, I absolutely love it when a course will give you the option of just ripping something. Just, throw as far as you can. But hole number 2, straight shot. There are a few holes to where the blue basket is actually shorter and easier to get to than the red basket. The red basket was to the left around the corner. And throwing the Envy here, just came up a little short on it, but tapping that in for par. This is going to be another one, par 4, 562 uphill, toward the red basket, in my opinion, was just a little bit further. But I can kind of see to where the blue basket was probably harder to get to with those guardian trees. So once again, just something that you need to rip. Obviously, if you go to the left, you are going to be in trouble with those trees there. And then to the right, they do have the road OB. And it is, it definitely plays long going uphill. I went that Octane, and then from there throwing my reactor, ended up catching the guardian trees, and I had a little gap there to putt through, but ended up catching the foliage. So another par 4. This one's going to be a dog leg right. This is a little bit shorter, but it is definitely a true par 4. Tough one to get to. Got to be accurate off this tee pad. So throwing the volt here, and I actually wish I would have disked up a little bit more. Came up a little short. And from here, going to be throwing a roller, trying to get through some stuff, but did not really have any luck creating a lot of distance. Got caught up just on the outside. So that red basket and blue basket are relatively close. This blue one's just a smidgen further, but ended up almost falling in a little hole right there. But cashing that in for a par. So here we go, hole number 3, 268. Gonna be pretty much a just a very, very slight right hole, and then that red basket was down to the right. So throwing one of my beat-in pyros that'll normally fly straight, but had a early skip and caught one of these trees. Was pretty stoked about this putt, felt really good and just bounced right off. So here we go, next hole, 390. This is going to be downhill. And then once again, the red basket is a little bit further than the blue. So going to be just throwing an Octane on a big hyzer. The road there, OB, and then once you get closer to the baskets, there are some thick trees and brush. There's actually a couple that was playing ahead of me that ended up looking for a disc the whole time. So after I put it out, I went over there to help them look. Here we go, hole 7, 210. This was actually a very fun shot to throw. Going to be throwing a pyro on a flex here. And you saw that red basket off to the right, probably more of a forehand friendly shot. But ended up just going a little long of the basket. Just have to have good touch on this one. Hole 8, 385, I believe, or 86 on this one. Road OB, a lot of brush there. There's the red. Then the blue is going to be in the long position. Throwing my reactor. And I've definitely been throwing a lot more mid-ranges for these longer shots, just having a lot of trust in them, throwing the reactor and the hex. I feel a lot more comfortable using those two. So taking a par there. Here we go, next one. 298 par 3 uphill, and red basket and blue basket are pretty close. But once again, this is what I was talking about, where they'll utilize these trees, just kind of something you got to throw in between. But a lot of them are really close together, so it's not too dangerous off the tee. Just got to be pretty accurate there. This one was playing uphill, so it was a little bit longer. Now, hole 10, par 4, 479 downhill. I actually did play to the red basket on this one because I could not find the blue basket when I first started. So throwing a Fission Wave here, a new disc that I got, and just when you when it leaves your hand and you hate it, but a good tree kick always helps. So the reason I played to the red and not the blue, I was actually going to refilm it, but there was two groups that were behind me, and to the left there were some people that were doing engagement photos, so I just wanted to not go back and hold everything up. So here we go, next hole. Ended up just throwing a really bad shot there. No, I was trying to flex it. I don't know how many. I was actually talking to a friend just recently about when you're trying to flex a forehand and you throw it nose up. It's just the worst feeling in the world, and that's what happened right there. So I was able to save par, but 277 par 3, hole number 12. This one you can see the short pad, and then the red basket was to the left. But once again, just throwing a forehand down the middle. Little flex to it. This one I actually did not throw nose up, so I was happy about that. And I was actually going to putt with my Envy there at first, but the wind was picking up just a little bit, so I wanted to switch to the Pyro. But here we go, next one, hole 13, two baskets, one's slightly uphill. And in my personal opinion, you know, I think it's important to, when you're designing the courses and stuff, just to separate the baskets a little bit. Having them this close together right here, I just feel like it could just get in the way of a shot. But that is just my opinion on it. I'm not gonna, you know, like I said, I absolutely love a free course where you can go play disc golf. I'll never knock a disc golf course designer because they take a lot of time and effort to build it. But here we go, next hole, par 4. And originally I could not find the blue basket on that walkthrough. And then I realized that it was up on top of this hill here where I'm actually throwing. So I apologize for not doing the time lapse to it, but it is to the right. So just going to be taking a lackluster par there. Here we go. Next hole, 247, par 3, hole 15. Going to be downhill. Pretty simplistic shot here. Nothing too crazy about this. Throwing a standstill Envy just on a slight hyzer. And then the red basket is a little bit more to the right. So cashing in another birdie. Hole 16, par 3, 333. Once again, there's one of those ones where the blue is a little easier to get to. The red is a lot further left on top of the hill. So ended up just coming a little short on my shot there, and jump punt did not go well at all. So as you can tell, I was letting this group play through as well. But a lot of people out here playing this course. 300-foot par 3 uphill. And here we go with the trees again. I love it when a course does this, and, you know, just gives you something to think about, just making sure that you throw accurate off the tee box. So felt really good about this shot, but ended up having a pretty decent skip into these bushes and just could not cash it airball in there. So here we go. Last hole, par 4, 604. You have there's that group again where they were taking their engagement photos. But you have a pretty big gap to the left here, or you could try to chance it and throw backhand. I did not want to catch one of those trees, so just throwing Tantrum on hyzer a little bit, and felt like I had a really good pull there. and had a look at the basket, throwing my volt, and just was way off on the angle there and ended up in the brush. So this next one, you'll not see me. I'm just kind of just way down there. I was glad that it didn't go in deep, but was able to kind of straddle out and cash that in for a par. But overall, this course has a lot of potential, a lot of, anytime there's shorts and longs to mix up, it plays for a great course. So you can definitely have a lot of different variations when playing this one, but definitely worth the trip out there. I know it's a little bit out of the ways of Nashville, but if you guys get a chance, check it out. Woodland Park Disc Golf Course, totally worth the trip.